Hi all, welcome back. So today in this video what we are going to see that we are going to create a view with the help of multiple tables. Okay, the problem statement has been given in the comment. Okay, and here it is saying that we have to create a view with the help of the below tables. Okay, so for that purpose, okay, let me just copy it in sheet. So I've already copied the question in the sheet here. Here it is saying that let's try to read our problem statement first of all. Create a view in with below tables and use it in Appian dashboard for showing the timetable of a student who logged in. So it is saying that we have to show the timetable of the student who logged in. Okay, and these are the tables given below. Means student is there, the student ID, name, phone, address is there, the class is there, the teacher is there, and the timetable is also given there. So these are the different table. What I have done here is that I have tried to segregate all the tables into different columns here, so that we are able to see all the data clearly. So these are the different table which are present there. Now we have to create a view. First of all, we have to see that what's a view actually. Okay, so if you go in like Google, and you will get the definition of a view as what in SQL. View is a virtual table. It means that view is not actually a table, it is a virtual table on the result set of a SQL statement. Means some SQL we have to write, and based on that it used to like create a virtual table. See, a view contains rows and columns just like a real table. The fields in view are from one or more tables in the database. This is only line is very important here. A view also is having a same table, like it will look like nothing like this. Okay, it will look like a table, it will look like a table only, but the columns and the values are not in from this table, but it is from the different tables, and based on this table only we have to create a view. So first of all is the the requirement is that in our database we should have these tables ready, then only we can create a view for that. Okay, so what we will do here is that one by one we will try to create a record for all this table. Why I'm going with a record then? Why I'm going with a record? Like how come I know I should create a record here? So see here, simple concept. When you have to create a table into Appian, table in Appian, you have two ways. You can do with the help of CDT, and now you can also do with the help of records as well. Okay, so table can be created with the help of CDT, and table can be created with the help of records, and record is a relatively much easier a way to create the table. So I will prefer the record, and it will quickly create it as well. So what is the first table that we have to create? A student table is there. So I will just write it here, student. Have to do, see here you have to click on I want to start from scratch, because the table we have to create from scratch only here. Okay, sync enable. Okay, let it be sync enable, and now let's try to write whatever is the fields here. Student ID, name, and phone. See here, student and phone is there. See, these are the metadata fields, and in our problem statement these fields are not given, so let's not go into these fields. Okay, that anyway we will directly insert data from the database. So whatever the field given there, we will directly focus on that fields only. Now the name is there, name is going to be a text, and the phone number as well, and save the changes. Once the changes are saved, my student table is ready. So, and we can go in the database as well, and we can check about the student table what has been given here, something like this. Yeah, see here, the student table is ready, only having 3 fields. Similarly, let me just create now, because we are very well aware about like how can we create a table. So let me just create quickly all the records here. One thing to note here is that, see here, in here the class it is written student ID. I have just written here ID FK, because see, student ID is already created here. Here also student ID is. That is why it is nothing but it is not a independent ID, but it is referring the ID of this particular student. I have written here FK. Wherever that data is that, now this class ID is referred here, so it will become FK, and here. So that is why I have referred as FK, so that we won't confuse, and we know that it is a something from other table. Our class record is ready. Now let's move ahead and click create the record for the teacher. So if you see here, my timetable is also ready. It means that I have created all my particular tables. Let me just give here ys and see here. My timetable table is this one here. Teacher is here. Student table is here, and class table was also there. Now what is the next step then? First step was create the table. Now the next step is that we will try to add some data into the table. Okay, insert data. Because we are not creating any actions, it's not a complete application, we just have to see a view, so we will directly add some data into our table. So so one by one I will try to add the data. First of all, I will go in the student table and I will try to add some data here. We have missed to add the address field here. Okay, in the student, one more field is there like address. So address, we can go and map one more. If some field is left, we can add a field as well here. So let's try to add one more field that is left, is nothing but the address. It will see a record will automatically update your database table. Here the update button is selected, so we don't have to worry about that. Next time when we will go in the student table, okay, see here, next time I will click on this one, it will have address as well. Okay, now if I will go here, I will select the insert statement from here. Okay, and now what we will do, we will try to paste our query that we have written here. So you can see here, I have already prepared some data for the script, and now I will just try to insert this data in the database. So my 5 student data has been inserted in the database here. Okay, similarly let's try to add the data for the others as well. What I will do is, now let me add the data for the teacher. So you can see here, I have prepared the script for the class ID and just click on go. So the class data is also ready. Okay, different students, each student is mapped to this class. We can like same class ID, 5 classes are there, and different like students are mapped. Like one class ID 1 is mapped to 1, 2 is mapped to 2. So we have 5 students created and 5 class IDs also done. Now what is the next? We can go and insert the data for the teachers as well. Okay, so let's go here. So if you see here, my data of teacher is also ready. I have just like some teacher name I've written, and for each class I'm assigning a different teachers here. So I will just click on this, and my teacher data is also inserted here. Okay, so class ID FK is like, see here, what happened to class ID FK? Oh, we see here, teacher ID FK name is fine, but class ID is date and time. In that case, what we have to do? What we have to do is, we have to first of all delete this field from here. Okay, and let's delete anyway, and then save our changes. Once the class ID FK is deleted, it will go and update in the database. See here, this time my table won't have class ID FK. It is updated by default. Now the next thing what we have to do here is that let it sync, and once again I will go and add a class ID FK here, and it will be what? Number integer. Click on save changes, and this time we will have all our tables as it is. It is see here, record type is successfully updated. Now let's click on browse once again and see it is there. So we will map each teachers to a class here. Now the only table that is remaining is the this table, time table. So in the time table, how we can map the data? So let's try to see. Okay, and here for each, see here, for each class ID we have to create a timetable for that. Let's say like here I am creating for class 1. Teacher I have assigned is like, let's say like class 1, for I have assigned the teacher ID 2. Okay, and the slot I have given 1 to 8 was the slot that was written here. 1 to 8, any slot we can give it. Let me just give here slot number 3 is there. Okay, so one value we have tried to create. Let's write only 2 data as of now. Click on go, and the data is inserted here. So if you see, class 1 teacher is there, teacher ID 1. Okay, so let it be 1. Okay, same here. So I will just map it here. Teacher ID 1 we have assigned it, and for 2 we have done 2 here. So that's it. So all our data is ready. Now we have to like, in order to see this data, is our data preview is visible. So timetable data is synced, I guess, which is this table synced here. So this table is also synced here. Okay, great. Now we have to go and create a view there. So view, we have learned the definition that it is going to be a virtual table and it will contain the rows and columns from different tables. So our problem statement is given that we have to create a view and use it in Appian dashboard for showing the time to a student who logged in, but it is not specific on what condition we have to show it. Okay, like some student ID is there, for this one you show the view, or some other data is there, that is not there. So we will try to create a simple view here which just shows the data, nothing else it does. So what I will do here is that I will go in the SQL here and see, for the views, what I want here is what are the fields. See here it is not defined a condition under which like how can I know a student has logged in or not. That particular condition is not defined. So what we will take here is that student ID is there, a class ID. I will take one one data from here. Let's say ID is there. Okay, one more data. Student ID I will take it, name I will take it, teacher I will take it, like okay, what is the name of the teacher, which slot these are from, and what is the class ID for them. So these are the particular things that I want to take in order to for the view. Now we can go here and create a view here. So in order to create, what can we do? So see, this is a view syntax has been given here. We can follow just like this one here. First of all, you have to write create view and then the name of the view here. And then we have to write the select, like what are the different columns that we have. See here we identified some columns, so we have to select it, and then we have to write like from which table you want this table, from you want the data, and then we have to specify a where condition. So these all things are needed here. So what we will do here, let's try to go in here and create a view. Create, okay, we will write view and we have to give a name for the view as well. So what will be our name? The name is going to be YS student, okay, time table. Okay, so let's me add it as well here. And after that, the next thing is select statements. So we have to select it. So let's try to use select. What are the different things we need? So from every table we need something, right? So select, I will write it here, YS student dot ID. I will select ID, okay, and I will write like how it should name it. So I will name it something like student ID, and then YS student dot name, I will write it here as name, just name only, okay, and then so these are the things. Now you have to write what? You have to write from which table. So I am taking every data from this table. From what? YS student. But you will say, oh, you are going to take this data from the student table, but all this data, teacher and class slot, if it is not present in the student table at all, how you will get this data? Now here comes the concept of joins. I will join this table, from this table I will try to join with other tables here, then I will get the data. So let's try to see the data here. From student I have written here. Now I will create here join. So I will join class table. Okay, so YS class, I will join this table. On what basis? Okay, see, this table and this table are related. Why? Because student ID is present here as well, student ID is present here as well. Based on these two conditions, we can easily join this table together. Okay, and this join is nothing called as inner join also. We can just write join as well. Okay, join this table on YS. Okay, student dot, I have to write here YS class, first of all, dot student ID equal to YS student dot student ID. That I have to write on as well, right? So on which condition you want to join, that we have defined here. Now what is the next thing we want? We have got the data of teacher as well, right? So we need the data of teacher as well. So join, I will join with teacher as well. So YS teacher. Okay, on what condition we can join the teacher? See here, we have connected these two tables together, and this class ID is present in the nothing but the teacher ID as well. Teacher table as well, it is present. So based on this condition we will join it. So on what? YS teacher dot class ID FK is equal to YS class dot class ID. That's, oh, we don't need to give this comma here, so this is also joined. Timetable is left. Okay, so I will write here join ys timetable on what. So these two tables are now connected with each other. See here, teacher id is here as well, teacher id is here as well, so we can connect these two to get we can connect those two together. Dot teacher id fk is equal to ys, okay, teacher dot teacher id. That's it. And at the last we need some where condition, but here it is not defined, like on who, how I will know which student logged in. So I will just take a normal where condition here. We cannot take it as well, it's not mandatory. Where I will take, like ys, okay, student dot student id is not null, normal, right? This is what I want. Okay, so this is our view. Let me just copy the view here, but I will just, like before creating a view, let's try to test our SQL statement here, that whether we have done everything correct or not. So if you see here, I have tried to run and it is showing the two details that we have inserted here. Now we can go back and Control Z and create a view here. Click on go. A view is created here. So how can we see the view here? So you have to go in the views and you can see a view here. See, your table is ready with the view, whatever the data we have inserted based on that. And see, only two table of data we are able to get, because inner join only get the data if it is present in all the tables. So in the timetable we might not have added all the data. That is why if you add more data, it will show there. What is the next step then? We created a view in the database. Okay, view created in DB. Now I want to show into the Appian. Then what? Again we can do with the help of CDT and then the records as well. So first of all, what we have to do here is that we have to go here and click on the data type here. Okay, so I will create from database table or view here. I will select what is my data source. Okay, and now I have to select which is the table here, ys, and see all these table are present. Even your views will show here, student timetable. Click on continue. And see all this, student id. If you want to change something like this, you can make here. You can, make sure to make this primary key, otherwise it will break. Let's not select the auto generate. You can't select, see, for views you can't do the auto generate part, but make sure to make this primary key, because anyway it is going to be a primary key only. Name is there, class id. If you want to change a bit name convention, you can do that. Once you have created, the table will get created. And see here, it will create a data store entity required to read or write from the database. So we have to go in our data store and we have to also see that. So let's try to go in our data store now. Now if you see here, automatically by default, as soon as we save it, entity is added here. Let's try to verify our entity and see entities are mapping are verified. Okay, so entity mapping is verified. CDT is ready. Okay, once a CDT is ready, we can create a query entities. We can fetch the data from here as well. Okay, or much better, we are see, we all have done everything is done here with the record only. So why not we go and create a record for this one here. Create a record type. I have given a record type name here and I will create a record type, because see, if we have a view, we can create an actions related on the views as well. Much better, we can show a read only grid as well with the help of view. Tell us about your data, and it will ask we have to select the database here. Why? Because table is already present, and here we won't enable the sync. Now you ask why it is not there? Because we don't have to write the data in order to sync it. It is coming from a view, and view is not actually a table, it's a virtual table. So I don't require here sync features, just disable it. And now here you have to select your data store entity. So first of all, select your data store and see, select your entity here. My entity is what? So let's see a student table, and see it will show the data from the table here. That's it. Click on finish and your data is ready. And see, if it is non-synced recording, all this record level security, view action, all these are disabled here. That's what we don't require. Anyway, it is a view. We won't write any data in this database table. Okay, see here, this is how it looks like. We are able to see the data. Class ID is 1, teacher is this one here, Mrs. Johnson, Mr. Smith is there, slot is 3, 4, like this. If we add more data in the timetable, we will get more data here as well. Let's say if we want to create a grid for that, so let's me just try to create a read only grid here. So here record type, my record type is what? Ys student timetable view. This is the view, and see my grid will get ready for that. So I'm able to get the data directly. How I am able to get directly from the view? I am able to create a read-only grid. Now why only 2 rows are showing here? Why not all the rows are showing? It depends on the data what we have inserted here. See here, in the timetable I have inserted 2 data, so 2 is there. I will insert one more data here. Let me just insert for, like for class 3, teacher is going to be the 3, and the slot is going to be what? As of now 3 4 is used, so let me add slot number 2. Anyway, it doesn't matter on this, like difference is not there. Now one more data I have inserted. Let me just try to refresh our grid here, and it should show my third data as well. As many data are there in my view, that many data will present. If we have a condition for our view, see here, where is our view here? We can go and like anytime we can go onto our view, and we can edit the view as well. If any condition or any updation is there, see this is the data that looks like here, and let's click on format and see it will get format, and here you can add any condition based on like what data to show in the view. That data will only show. So like this as well we can do it. Okay, we have created a view. We have created first of all the tables, we created the record here, okay, and created a view, and then finally we have created a record directly which is present in the views there. Okay, so that was all for now. I hope it is easy to understand for this particular use case that we have done here. That's all for now. Thank you.